Intamin just released a few animations for 3 small Blitz coaster layouts that they are offering: a single launch, double launch, and a triple launch coaster, the latter utilizing the multi-pass launch system found on a couple of Intamin's new Blitz coasters. These new layouts feature great airtime and pacing, and could be a very good option for smaller parks. Could this mean a possibly rehabilitated relationship with 2 certain American amusement park chains? Watch this whole video to find out. The single launch coaster features a height of 82 feet, a length of less than 2,000 feet, and a top speed of 50 miles an hour. It has 8 different airtime moments and 2 inversions. The train turns out of the station and heads into the 50-mile-an-hour launch, which leads into a top hat. The drop off of the top hat snaps to the left and leads the train into a small bunny hill and the ride's first inversion, a dive loop. The train heads over a floater airtime hill and a turn leading into what Intamin calls a horseshoe roll. A small S-curve leads into an overbanked turn and 2 back-to-back bunny hills. The first one will give some strong floater airtime, and the second one will give ejector airtime. A whippy set of rising S-curves lead the train into the final brakes. This is a fairly short but pretty intense layout for a coaster of this size. Moving on to the double launch coaster, this one with a height of 75 feet, a length of 2,106 feet, and a top speed of 47 miles an hour. The layout starts with a turn leading into the first launch, this one being at 40 miles an hour. The launch leads into a hanging dive loop, which is not an inversion apparently. The train heads into a solid airtime hill before an overbanked turn and a couple of S-curves. These whippy transitions lead into a snappy stangle dive before another strong airtime hill leading into the second launch. This leads into a steep twisting hill that almost resembles a top hat before a dive into an underground tunnel. The train emerges from the tunnel and flies through a snappy twisted airtime hill before an outwards wall stall that looks like a much smaller version of the outer banked airtime hill on Pantheon. A low-to-the-ground turn leads the train into the final brakes. While this layout has no inversions, the frequent airtime moments and great pacing by far make up for it. Now for the final layout. This one is the tallest of the 3 at 91 feet tall and has a track length of 1,975 feet, but the train traverses 2,549 feet due to the multi-pass launch. The layout starts with the train passing through the switch track and heading through the first boost through an airtime hill. The train falls back and is boosted through the airtime hill and into a backwards spike. The train traverses the airtime hill one last time and reaches the top speed of 49 miles an hour. The train makes it over the top hat and drops back down into a bunny hill and a massive vertical loop, which is kind of unique on a modern launch coaster. The loop leads into a snappy stangle dive that gives some airtime before a turn into a horseshoe roll. This leads into an overbanked turn with shaping that almost resembles a stangle dive but taken in reverse, kind of like how Orion's turnaround is a reverse version of Fury 325's. Another inversion follows this one being a fast corkscrew. An overbanked turn leads the train through an ejector airtime hill and into the brakes. The first thing you notice about these coasters is that they are super small. These new layouts are no Conda or Pantheon, as they have a top speed of around 50 miles an hour. Another thing is the length. These are not super short rides, as they have a prime ride time comparable to the majority of RMCs, with the single launch having 33 seconds of ride time, the double launch with 38, and the triple launch with 48 seconds. But each layout has a track length of around 2,000 feet of track. Anybody know any other extreme thrill coasters with a track length at 2,000 feet, give or take a few? Yeah, the RMC Raptors. And who bought the first 3 RMC Raptors? Six Flags and Cedar Fair. Now, Six Flags has a very good relationship with RMC, and Cedar Fair had a good relationship when they bought the coasters, I guess, but that's not the point. The point is that those coasters were cheap and thrilling, and therefore appealed to a wide variety of parks and chains, including Cedar Fair and Six Flags. Now, we all know that Cedar Fair and Six Flags don't exactly have the best relationship with Intamin, but look at the last coasters they bought from Intamin: Intimidator 305 in 2010 and Green Lantern in 2011. These were 10 years ago. Now, I know the stuff with Shoot the Rapids played a part in that, but that was still forever ago. Intamin has changed so much since then. For the last decade, they have been perfecting each one of their models, upgrading the reliability with each one. They are developing a reputation of being a much more reliable manufacturer, and I think it's working. Parks in America are taking notice. Busch Gardens and Universal each ordered a Blitz coaster, and while Pantheon was pushed back a year, it wasn't exactly due to reliability. Or was it? But the point is that parks are taking notice of Intamin's reliability, as well as, of course, the amazing coasters that they have been making, and I think that these small layouts will really help with Intamin's comeback in the US. I've been noticing that in Intamin's recent new coaster concepts, they've been focusing on smaller coasters. Look at the Hot Racer coaster. That thing goes 44 miles an hour. Intamin has also released a couple of new Megalite coaster layouts on their website. I feel like Intamin is trying to expand their portfolio to a wider variety of coasters now that they have more reliable attractions. 10 years ago, parks would say, yeah, Intamin has that cool new concept, but I won't buy from them because there's going to be so much downtime, or it'll need to be modified or something like that. Now, parks will be saying, Intamin has that cool new concept, and I might look into buying one for my park because it will be pretty reliable. Their attractions are also more affordable too. Parks are much more likely to purchase a 2,000 foot long Blitz coaster than a 4,000 foot long one. I even heard that the track and supports for Conda only cost $15 million, and the price would go way down for a coaster half that size. Look at how RMC came to power. They offer cheap and quality thrill rides with wacky elements and airtime, but just as importantly, they got inside of Six Flags' extremely small list of manufacturers they work with, which was huge for the company. I think that Intamin can possibly join that small list of Six Flags' manufacturers with these small launch coasters. Six Flags doesn't really work with a company that offers launch coasters like Intamin. They work with Premier, but Premier's coasters are so much more drawn out than Intamin's and offer a much less intense experience with much more standard elements. S&S makes launch coasters, but those are high intensity extreme air launch coasters like Mac's Force. Six Flags bought a Power Splash from Mac for Six Flags Over Texas, but the prices for Mac's launch coasters are way out of Six Flags' budget. And Intamin Blitz, even a small one, would do wonders for pretty much every park that doesn't already have a multi-pass launch coaster. Another benefit of Intamin's small Blitz coaster layouts is that it forces other manufacturers to come out with something that tops it. Intamin could be taking potential customers from other manufacturers like Mach, Vekoma, or RMC. This would force those companies to innovate and produce a product that the customer would want to buy instead of the competitor's product, and when the competitor sees the other company's product, they will want to come up with something that could top that. And us coaster enthusiasts get to enjoy all of these amazing thrill rides that the manufacturers come out with. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode, and if you're new here, consider subscribing because that motivates me to create more videos, and in turn benefits you because you guys will get to enjoy more videos. I will see you all next time. Bye.